Hey everybody, Bill in Virginia here. Welcome back. This episode is going to be starting the center section. I went to the lumber yard, and while there was some sticker shock on lumber prices, this stuff still was not too bad. So I picked up enough to do the next section. That way I can kind of work on that over the holidays here. I have been doing a little playing with the first piece, just kind of setting some track down to kind of get a feel for the O scale. And that track is not going to be at that level. I will bring it up. I will put temporary risers in place. And I also have some plywood that I purchased. That was expensive. But I'll be using that for the sub-road bed. So I will make some progress here. I've also got some track and components set down. This, the Casey Jones engine, I just got it as well as a couple of cabooses and a boxcar delivered off of an eBay purchase. And it was on eBay for a buy it now, and the price was right. And I got looking at it, and the seller listed it as he wasn't sure if it was motorized or not. But having seen a few of these kits and looking at the wheels, I took the chance that it was motorized. Brought it into the shop here a little while ago as it came in today. Put a little bit of power to the wheels already, and I got a spark and I got it to move. It was hesitating. It needs to be cleaned, and the wheels are heavily oxidized, so I've got a bit of work to do on it, but the engine runs, so I was happy about that. That's going to look pretty cool, I think, running on this layout. So I'm going to be doing odds and ends of work on this, as well as doing construction in this episode. So you're going to see a variety of different things. Well, there is the second table, all laid out for cutting. So tomorrow, I am going to go outside if the weather's decent, take my compound miter saw and do some chopping, and then I can get started on the middle section. Middle section will be 5 feet long, so a little longer than this one, but only about 3 feet wide. I have to say that 10-wheeler actually looks pretty darn good. So I've been playing just with some track, not much. So right now everything is laying out kind of the way I expected. So this is going to go into hidden staging. This is going to come around. This will be about the midpoint of the middle one. It'll swing around and then into the next 4.5 by 4.5 chunk. That'll swing around the back and then come up. And like I said before, that track will be up at that elevation, but on a series of bridges that'll go through rolling landscape on that side. So the O scale is working out pretty good to the plan that I've got. Like I noted a long time ago when I was talking about thoughts, the ON3 will be a layout that will start at about this height. It'll be probably about 6 inches above the track for the O scale. The O scale will be totally flat. Going around, it'll just have the bench work, which will give it elevation difference, mostly on the back side. The ON3 will, assume like right over here is a 0 elevation, which is like 6 inches above. Come around and do another loop and come up and then go around and then cross that direction, go over to there, go start doing a loop and come down, come across here, and then that will come back over. So in a sense, it will kind of cross over itself, but at base elevation and then a higher elevation. So I'm going to have some trestles and more mountains and different things going in here. And I will be able to have the ON3 over the O scale in a number of different areas, because from about where the front of the engine is, that's going to be all hidden under the scenery. And then I can get access from underneath once I get this cut out. So the O scales on this whole side over here is not going to be visible. It's only going to be visible when it comes back out on that side and then starts coming this way again. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. But this is about it for tonight. I'm just kind of sitting out in the garage sucking down the Diet Cola and playing with this a little bit. Tomorrow, cut wood, build the middle section, see what kind of mischief I can get into. Making progress on the second build. Everything is cut, and now time to glue and nail it up. So, still early Christmas Eve day. Got the basic framing done on the second part. I am going to attach the shelf piece on the right side there. Got my plates cut so that I can add my casters. I should have this done well before Santa shows up tonight. And then put it up next to the other one here. So making really good progress. Well, everything is together on that second module. Right now I'm still going to let it sit overnight just to make sure the glue sets well. I do have it temporarily clamped to the other piece just to make sure that everything is square as the glue sets. And it looks pretty good. Moves all around pretty easily. So what I've been doing here this evening just for some fun is just setting out some track. You can kind of see how my track plan is going to be for the O scale piece. Get over there, bridges, hilly terrain, a lot of relief up and down, comes across, and then over here, this is all going to be underneath the table, hidden staging. There'll be another switch on that piece right there to come it over. What I'm going to do is, this is old DC on this one. So I'm going to make it where I've got the ability to park a train here, park a train there, and just normal switches. I've got powered switches here. There'll be another one over there. This is all going to be hidden. What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to get one of those backing cameras that you can get for a car. It's got a little monitor and a small video camera, so that I can put this underneath, because this is all going to be mountains and the ON30 is going to be above it, so that I can see some marks on that side, as well as some marks that I'll put over like in here, so I can see when I've got trains. So I can remotely switch track. I can bring a train in, maybe like from this direction, simple block on off, and then over here have another train maybe coming out the other direction, and again, simple block controls, and then I can have it go and just let it run around the layout while I've got the ON30 running above it. So again, show layout, so I want to keep it simple, but I'm going to have some fun with it once I get to the scenery part, which is the stuff that I really like. So just a quick segment on how I hold the two sections together. And it is just these little T-handled sort of wing nuts. Just a bolt through both of them. That holds one side. There's one over on that side. So when this is all scenic and detailed, I can put my hand in under here to get hold of that one, and then come in from this way to get hold of that. Over there, it's simply just reaching up from underneath, but they're together. Wheels on them, makes it easy to move, and I'm doing it with one hand. When I get the other section on, it'll be a little bit harder to move one-handed. But portability is exactly what I'm after with these. So far, looking pretty good and working pretty good. The long Christmas weekend is coming to a close, and I'm about to wrap it up out here for a Sunday night. Got the first piece and then the middle piece pretty much done. I still have to add some cross pieces and put in some boards down on the bottom there so I can make storage like I did on the first one. But the O scale part is coming along nicely. I do have to actually get some more track, a few pieces of the curve, so that I can use that instead of having to force the flex track into a 24-inch radius, but that's okay. Over on this side, you'll notice I've got supports up and a track in the area where I was talking about putting in bridges, some trestles. That is still going to happen. I figured I would do it this way so that I've got the track not in place, but kinda. So I can get trains running and do electrical, and I can do basics as I figure out where my trestles are going to go. I figure it's going to be probably 3, maybe even 4 trestles in this section, where it's going to be hilly terrain going into a small valley, another, then going back up, and then another trestle coming a little bit later. So it'll be something like this. This is a what is it? I think about a 12-inch trestle or bent. So those will go in something like that in this area, and it'll be fine. I've got a couple of different sizes of these. I've got actually longer ones which will go over into the corner, but I can make a variety of trestles that run across a good piece here. So when I make these and kind of set them up, I'll be able to take out a support like here, and then maybe another one there, and then something, maybe lower one here, and make a smaller trestle. So I can have a variety of scenic details here that show relief going down and then going back up, where I can continue on sort of a gorge coming up into the mountains, dropping down. The ON3s will be, well, not over that track, but we'll be running along in here. So it should give me a lot of good scenic opportunities. So as I get farther along, and once I get the O Scale track completely put in, and I get this next piece built, which I've got to go to Lowe's this week and get more lumber. I've got a variety down there that I'll mark up, but I'm still going to need a few chunks. So once I get that piece done, I can then get the O Scale track put into place. I can get it wired up, tested, and I can actually run an O Scale train at that point. So I'm looking forward to that. The modules will be able to disconnect. Now, right now, the track is not cut, but you can see here is the seam where the modules connect. I did have to relocate that little toggle down that way a little bit because it was right where the support was for here. And I've also got the support, the roadbed cut right here. So once I get track, again, kind of figured out, it'll be loose up here. And while I'm working on it, I will cut the track and then just use rail joiners right here, until a later time when I get everything worked out. Same over here. I will eventually cut the track once I get everything set. And this is all going to be hidden, so I'm just going to cut it and leave it cut. Put in feeders on this side, on those 2 tracks so that I've got good electrical continuity. And the same thing will happen when we're down here on the next piece, so this one lines up with the edge. When I get this next piece cut, once I get the other part in, it will line up and I'll have a cut right there, and then everything else over on this side will be solid. So should be pretty good. It's coming together. So I think that's going to be it for this video. So take care. Hope you had a great holiday and are looking forward to New Year's, and we'll see you again next time.